How's it going, everybody? This is one of my testimonies that I'm finally sharing here on YouTube, which kind of long overdue. I was thinking I should post this months, years ago, or a while back, but this video, hope to share and to help others and to bring light on situations that aren't talked about enough. So, one of my testimonies, this was about four and a half years ago, the beginning of COVID-19. I was 20 years old. I was, at that time, really into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, very much into lifting weights, kind of in that whole red pill space, self-improvement. I gained knowledge from that, but it was also pretty toxic being in that mindset, and just I was definitely self-improving. Like on paper you'd see like me, like, oh, this guy's doing MMA, he's like really working hard at his physique, at his like going to school, like really doing cool stuff. However, the world had other plans, and the lockdown started happening, right? And I had to quit going to college because they closed down my college for the COVID virus, and I was forced to go online school and to stop training jiu-jitsu and my other hobbies, put that to the side and stay at home. And I'm like, I'll make the best situation. I stayed in great shape the first few weeks of COVID. I was doing 100 burpees a day, running, lifting weights, and then something different happened. I started to get so much bad pain in my back, getting these really bad tension, migraine-like headaches through my cervical spine right here, out my back, and no big deal. I took some ibuprofen, I rested, and maybe took a few days off, stretched, thinking about, it's this little virus or little injury, no big deal. Come to find out, it wouldn't go away. And like my posture was so bad, and I've had these headaches, like right going through here, just pain. And it just halted my life and my honestly happiness. But I got this internship in a job at this place in my city where it's pretty well known, like a personal training, high-end elite business. I did that, but I had a lot of pain still in my head, and it was so bizarre and weird because I'd never experienced anything like that. Just the headache, tension headache of just 5 days a week pressure on my eye, the back of my head, and I was doing my absolute best to stay positive. I went above and beyond to read self-healing books, self-improvement books by Eckhart Tolle, by visiting like chiropractors and like just physical therapy like places, which did help a little bit, but I still had a lot of pain that I was dealing with. And going from all like the training, the MMA stuff to that was really, it just sucked because I was really happy there when I was doing all the other stuff. So during the pandemic lockdown, interning at this job, I spent a lot of time at home researching on spirituality in God, and I was like in this pain, like such a big clutch and pain. I'm like, God, why are you letting this happen to me? Like, why? And it was frustrating, and I spent a lot of time meditating, and in this age, I was still involved in I wasn't so deep into the new age, but I was like sun gazing. I was like not quite like all the time, but like I tried to like be out in the sun, box like breathe, and I had chakra books and just like reading about the chakras, and I I thought maybe I need to do some inner healing or something like that. I kind of put that to the side and cared too much about that. I focused on this internship and this 100% on self-improvement. But I felt kind of misguided in the sense that I knew I had to improve myself, but I really just dealing with this pain and this like blessings and good things were happening to me. I was just it's like I'm lost. But not like quite lost in the sense like I'm lost in the middle of the woods. Like I knew the direction I was going was positive. I knew about the red pill, about avoid fake people, fake friends in my life. I knew that, but my walk with God, going back a couple years before that, when this like really involved like in hobbies and stuff, I was training martial arts 6 days a week. I smoked some marijuana. I fornicated. I was like kind of doing like worldly stuff and really of the world. And the pandemic was almost like gonna lead this to a halt. This isn't the path for you. And here it is, just my life, completely 180, different path. Going home, and wasn't expecting that. And I was working this job, and it was a high-end intern job, like shit. Like, so I'd be introduced to some like well-known celebrity like people, basketball players. So I think that was cool. At the same time at this, I started reading the Bible, and this small positive affirmations through a day, I'd have all these hard things I was going through during that time, like my back. I was researching what if I had cluster headaches, which I'm glad I don't think I have it, because I just had tension headaches and stuff. And I heard someone weird. I was truly in a lot of pain. I sought out to see a chiropractor, got a lot of adjustments, like tons of adjustments, and a lot of physical therapy. And it gave me so much relief from my upper back and lower back and my headaches. And I got my life finally back, in the sense that I'm pain-free. I get to do what I like again. Just the small things of having good health, right? But around that time in 2021, I almost like about a year into this internship at this gym and COVID, the world, dealing with some headaches and like injuries and stuff. Everyone was telling me you gotta get the Ovid juice. You gotta say Ovid, Lovid. Get the Lovid needle. And I, of course, don't believe in that. I don't want to get it. It's sketchy how fast they push those out. The Ovid boost. And Beetlejuice. My family was going against what I believed in. We all have different beliefs, but I was like, didn't want to get that at all. October or September around 2021, my whole family was really pushing me to get this, Beetlejuice. And keep in mind, I keep staying strong. I don't want to get it. I don't want to get it. I don't want to get it, And it was really scary. Well, I know in hindsight, I was staying strong, but I was kind of like, just, I wouldn't say startled's the right word, but just, and I gotta be honest, it was a little bit kind of horrifying how everyone in this country was just so conformed to getting this Beetlejuice, right? You're killing old people if you don't get it, which, you could be in a room wearing a mask and you walk past somebody for a millisecond and people think you just killed that person. It's nuts, and people were brainwashed, and here I was finally improving my life, getting chiropractic adjustments, physical therapy, this good job and internship. Like I felt pain relief, but my whole family putting me through that like stress of like getting the vaccine. Every day they bombard me of like, oh, a young person died of COVID and you regret getting the vaccine. This like propaganda stuff of like the vaccine, the Beetlejuice, I might have to say code words. And I just couldn't. I was like getting adjustments. I was getting my health better. My stress levels were super high at this point, and imagine like trying to heal your get better if you heal your body and your stress levels are high. So cortisol is all rushed and just stressful times because my family was just they were brainwashed by the media and just the country about all that, and it was definitely more of a second spiritual awakening for me because I knew God existed. I knew that why is this? I knew maybe what I was going for was for a greater purpose, but then I'm like, God, why is every single year and every single time like crazy things are happening to me? Like it seems like other people are having good lives, they can just rest and they can just be at peace. But like it seems, why am I always going through like the craziest things of like the headaches, the family going against me for not getting the Beetlejuice, just overall my path I thought I wanted to be on got scrapped away and it led me to a different path. I'm like, why can't things just can't be, why can't things just be? So I stayed strong, and eventually my parents respected my decision and things mellowed out where I wasn't vaccinated, and 2021 wrapped up and going into 2022 with like just a fresh start. I quit that job because I was dealing with just a narcissistic boss, and just my headspace of just everything was just crazy. I knew I wasn't like crazy, but I knew that the situation was just unusual and not the healthiest, so I quit that job, and it was just very early 2022. It was a lot better. I was taken through a lot of trials and tribulations, the headaches, and fixing that with physical therapy and chiropractic adjustments, fixing my health, dealing with like a narcissistic weird boss, and my family finally giving me a break from the not getting vaccinated. I felt like semi-lost-ish. I knew that I was making the right decisions. I started uploading on YouTube, and I just was very, I would say, almost like I escaped a maze, but now I'm like in like some forest, and I'm reading the Bible more, reading it a lot, still on self-improvement. I was very, very involved in this research. Videos kept popping up on my recommended feed about like more about God, Jesus Christ, and keep in mind the past year I was reading the Bible, getting slowly the small seeds getting planted in me. You seek Him out more, and I saw a lot of people posted their hell testimonies and how Jesus saved them from all these things, depression and etc., like different things, and I'm like, there's something to this, my faith was strengthening so much, a lot more, and I felt a purpose. Like, I'm led back. I went to someone special in my life, invited me to church, and first time really going back in a while, and I felt good. My strength and discernment was growing and growing and growing, and I felt good. This year went by. I had traveled a bit. I went to Colorado, and I went to the East Coast. So it's almost like kind of the world going back to normal. But I'm like, the COVID thing was just so crazy, and this whole situation's just weird. And I got back into jiu-jitsu, and some martial arts, and I was definitely on the right path. I still had some things I was going through, in the sense that I was still new to the faith, so I was still a baby in the faith and my health. And I was still working out pretty hard at that time, like, even though I went through all, last year, headaches, physical therapy, and a lot of pain. I was still pushing through hard these stupid workouts that I injured myself with powerlifting and stuff, so I kind of misaligned myself on top of some stress levels in this previous year's building up. So I was taking care of my body, but I had way too much stress and I wasn't being the kindest to my body, and I was really, really beating myself up over the past things I had done and so forth. And the new year came along, and 2023 came around, started out really strong and great. Got this job, and I was pushing through life's challenges and conquering things, gaining new heights in life. My spiritual discernment grew. I had a couple falls that led me off the path a little bit, and I kind of just felt like my discernment was okay, you're hard-headed, you have good intentions, but I just got every month of 2023 new convictions, and I was departing from a lot of sins, and I was departing from a lot of things I wasn't aware of what I was doing, maybe wrong communications. I wouldn't say evil communications, but communications that weren't good, of maybe I was kind of gossiping. I was just entertaining some things I shouldn't have. It wasn't super, super bad, but it wasn't it was stunting my spiritual growth. And the year was good, but since I was still very hard on my body, going through these crazy workouts, a little bit of powerlifting and going super hard, and it's really beating myself up for past sins I committed, even though I repented. I ended up kind of injuring myself again, where I needed to go back to the chiropractor and do physical therapy intensely. And so summer of 2023, I just was finally okay, just give yourself a break, Max, and grow. And my spiritual discernment skyrocketed and strengthened, and reading the Bible every day, going to work, on the grind, hustling, headaches for feeling better, just my body just with the injuries, headaches, and pains getting better. Just learning to be kinder to my holy temple and not dwell on the past so much. And I'm saying this because I want you to learn from my mistakes, and so someone could get something out of this, hopefully. And this, I'm definitely, my knowledge, my spiritual discernment, every year I'm seeking God, but I understand where His powers really are. And of course I knew God existed, and 2021, 2022, God was saving me out of a lot of bad situations, and it's going through turmoils, and going through a lot of just stress and him showing me my past sins that I was doing and my bad habits. He put so much conviction on my heart through these 3-4 years, and eventually lead me closer and closer to Christ. And then on this 2020, early this year, I was like cheering with joy, like, all praise the Lord, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And I've seen, myself transform so much, and coming out of darker times and dark places into the light, and living through it, because I make YouTube videos of self-improvement and stuff, instructionals, but actually living experiences, I can relate to everybody else that was going through crazy times, and I'm human, I'm fallible, I'm not perfect, I try to be every day the best I could be. And hindsight, looking back at these times, I was like, damn, language, but sorry, I felt every year so much conviction, so much spiritual growth, and I can't believe how hard I was on myself when I was of the world. I was so beating myself up. I was operating out of idolizing just jujitsu people, idolizing things, and not putting my trust in God fully. And then COVID happened. It's almost like COVID happened for a reason, to get me on a different path, to get me closer to God. Because if the pandemic never happened like it did, and like the virus didn't affect me like how it did my walk, but it was almost like God had other plans for me. And I know that we must treat our bodies well, we must treat others well, and to not dwell on the past, to not dwell on things that aren't serving you. And looking back, this way too hard on myself, I doing things I wasn't supposed to, convicted, feeling confused, and reading the Bible brings so much clarity to me, and dealing with I should say, I guess, consequences for my sins and actions, in a way that I felt it. I'm like, I messed up, and I'm sorry. And years ago, 5-6 years ago, when I was using, trying to be somebody, this player guy, talking to girls, and trying to put this front of this red pill guy, and dealing with toxic people, feeling lost. So now it's God certainly saved me out of those bad situations, and this is one of many testimonies. I'll upload more and share more, but this is probably the most recent testimony of the past 4 years. I have others that I'll share. And guys, you made this far. I love you so much. Peace and God bless.